Well, hi all. It's the morning here. There's a kayaker just gone by. We're anchored here in Roscanville, which is Brest Bay, nice little village, Anchorage. And I thought I'd just have a quick word about the Windvane, because quite a lot of people are interested in that, asking about it, what's going on here. So let's have a look, and I'll explain how it functions first of all, and then when we get underway in a bit, I'll try and do a couple of demonstrations of its function, and you'll see that it mainly works, and actually in theory at the very least should work. But I say I'll just uncover it now and just talk you through the various lines and function of the thing. So the first thing I want to show you is this T-bar, which is attached to the top of the trim tab. Let me just free those lines off. And if I turn that, I hope you understand, it turns the trim tab. So that's how it all works. I've got these two lines here that come up the tiller, and with these cam cleats here, that allows us to lock the trim tab in position, particularly for reversing. Because if you don't lock it when you reverse, the trim tab rotates all the way around, and then it could do itself some damage. So those are simply locking lines that lock the trim tab. The other two lines we've got are these two here that come to the outer end of that trim tab T, go through a couple of blocks here and up through this hole and up to the actual tower unit, go around this pulley, and they're locked with cleats there. And if we just unlock that, and I hope you can imagine that if I pull these, it rotates the trim tab. So that's me pulling those two lines, and you can see it's rotating the trim tab. So if I now lock those lines, I lock them on the cam cleats here, like that, and when I rotate that, if Hazel shines down onto the trim tab, you'll see it turning the trim tab out. So that's how it all works. Simple as that. So we have the vane in there, it's set to face the wind. If the boat goes off course, the vane is blown over, and that turns the trim tab. That's the theory of the thing, and then when we get underway, I'll show you how moving the trim tab steers the boat, if that's not already obvious, and then that will be the function of the thing, and then I'll say a few words about why I think it's not working at the moment. So it's a super calm afternoon, great opportunity to show you. So I'm going to start off, remember these two lines that are used for locking the trim tab in position. So I could steer the boat with those two if it didn't keep jamming themselves. Let's see if I can pull it from here maybe. So you see when I pull that line, the tiller goes that way, pull that line, the tiller goes that way. See that working? That is pretty cool, isn't it? So that,
show pulling the lines again.
This is me, so I'm pulling that one, tiller, pulling that one till it comes back. Got that, Haze?
Yeah.
Right, so we'll just put that straight ahead. Now then, if I were to, same thing, I'm sure you can imagine, but if I pull these lines, it'll have the same effect. You have to watch the tiller swing in, Hazel.
Okay.
Yeah, good, so you stand back there. So I can steer the boat really quite easily from these lines. See that working? It's actually, I'm not pulling very hard, it's very good. So I now tighten those in. Open those in. Like that. I should now be able to steer the boat with this, shouldn't I? There's the wind vane steering the boat. So, proof that we can steer the boat with a wind vane. The question is, why isn't it working? I'll just turn this around to get us back on course. And the answer, I think, is that either the vane's too small, or the angle of these lines isn't quite right, so they're not pulling perpendicular there. But you see that it works. There's no doubt that it works. It's working beautifully there. Pretty cool, eh? There's just something in the setup. Essentially it works. And I'm not having to push this very hard at all. So maybe we've only tried it in wind that wasn't enough. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe a bit more wind and she'll be perfect. Or maybe I need a bigger vane on there just to get that extra bit of power to make it work. But I hope that's shown you how it works and that you can see that it essentially does work. We'll leave it at that. Thanks, Hazel.
Walking in the wrong direction, don't know to where I've been. Encouraged by my inhibitions, blinded by what I've seen. I'm heading back to where I'm going, back to who knows where and when. Through the monsters of my own worst daydreams, on my way to there and then. Still I keep on moving, on the path of no return. Keep on winning as I'm losing, watching my bridges burn, 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 burn.
So we're leaving Brest Bay. It's flat calm, motoring, no sail up, there's no point. It's so calm. But it's good, eh? We're leaving Brest Bay. It's been brilliant.
It has.
Love Brest Bay, love it. But it's time to move on, really.
Yeah.
We've got a boat to get to, haven't we?
We do.
So yeah, and actually in that respect it's a big one because we're starting to get ourselves into a position to cross Biscay, which is we've got a couple of days planned along, 2-3 days planned along the north coast of Brittany, and then get ourselves to a position where we feel happy to cross from. So in that respect it is a massive one.
Yeah. No, it's just a short day today.
Today's just a short day, but we're 15 miles or something today, isn't it?
Like
So
12,
is it?
yeah.
Not very far. Just heading round the corner to an Anchorage, which will put us in a position to be able to time our going through the Rasta Seine, which is a tidal race thing. We need to go through it on the right current, on the right tide. So this Anchorage will put us in a position to make it easy to time that, and we'll be going through that tomorrow, all being well, weather permitting. There's the channel into Brest Bay. Just starting to leave. Very beautiful. Even if it's a bit overcast.
Yeah, looks like there might be rain.
Yeah. Look at that coast, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It also, they kind of look like teeth.
Yeah, well, in rough weather that would be horrendous.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go anywhere near them.
But we have seen a couple of boats go through this gap, so it's possible.
Yes.
That much we know. Well, we passed the Cardinal at least.
Yes. Yeah, pretty intense though.
Yeah. See the waves crashing on the rocks. It's like, oh. Let me not be that, please.
Oh right, now we're on course. Now we're on the right course.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Strange, so the tide was doing weird stuff to us. That's what it made it look weird.
Well, it's no surprise really. Surely through this gap it would be doing something
Yes,
weird.
most certainly. Most certainly.
look how smoky the water is now. That may sound tidal influence again. It was like a mirror earlier and now it's kind of a bit unsettled.
So here we are, anchored.
Yeah.
Got the anchor. Well, it's an anchor glass of wine in this case, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have any beer.
And now we're out of beer. But have a look, it's glorious. I'll stand up. See these limestone hills or whatever you might call them. Trying to spin around smoothly. There's a couple of buildings there and some kind of hut. Little beach. People, yeah, lots of hikers. People swimming on the beach. So you go down there waiting for food. Come around here again. Glorious limestone headland. It's truly beautiful. Reminds you of Scotland, you said, Hazel.
Yeah, it does. I just think the the steep hills and the vegetation. I feel like it looks kind of the same and rocky.
Rocky, yeah. Yeah, it looks a bit sort of heathery up there in places. Yeah. Very nice. So the wind turned out to be not what we were expecting at all, and we were expecting what the forecast said. And it just started rolling straight in that Anchorage. It was horrendous. We were pitching like something I didn't enjoy. So we're moving around to the next one in the hope that it's going to be better. And it does look like it will be better. It's a bit more protected on the chart, not as open to the entire Bay of Biscay as that last one was. And we'll see what happens. It's a motor to windward, sadly, but we need to get round there before it gets dark. There is a marina option up here apparently as well if all else fails. We'd rather not, but if there's no other option we will. And we'll see. It was pouring up with rain when we left, but it's stopped just about now, and there's some brighter stuff up ahead, which is nice. And there we go. Just got a bit of dinner in our bellies and then said, no, let's go.
Nighttime arrival? Oh, well, it's evening. Yeah. That's fine.
Just about. Yeah. It's just gone into night mode.
The plotter.
So, unfortunately, there's a bit of fog around as well, which is
but we are basically there. Yes. So that's good. Hopefully this Anchorage will be a bit more protected than our last one. So
absolutely.
Something one should add.
It certainly seems to be. It's pretty calm.
Yeah, it's pretty glassy out here.
Doing Morse practice.
Very cool.
2 French warships. Morning all. We got up early this morning, or early-ish at least, and moved into the marina here. We were anchored out in this beautiful little bay. It's called, what's it called? Crozon, something like that. It looks delightful. You can see the harbour town behind at the end of the bay. Rather shallow, dry. A lot of it dries, but where we were, obviously, was deep enough. But we were anchored there 2 nights. Yesterday afternoon, it got pretty blustery. The strong gusts, and quite a lot of strong gusts. And then last night, we didn't get the best of night's sleep because it was blowing fairly hard. So we got up this morning nice and early. Well, not first light's not true, but nice and early anyhow, and called up the harbour master and just came into the marina. And the 2 of them helped us dock, working for the marina here, or the port as they call it here, and super friendly, couldn't be nicer. And it's very nice. From here we need to empty our bins and we can just walk ashore and not worry about hanging the entire boat on one piece of chain and a shackle that joins it to the anchor, and all those sort of thoughts that you have when your boat's yawing around all over the place in the gusts. Let's enjoy our day. Time for a cup of coffee. you got there, Hazel?
Cider.
Cider.
Yeah.
Breton cider, eh? And served in these little bowls. It's ever so cute, isn't it?
It's pretty cool.
And it's good, isn't it? Let's
Yeah,
face
it's
it.
very yummy.
It's delicious. Well, Morgat turned out to be a lovely little harbour, marina, with a beautiful little village, and we stayed there a couple of nights, explored a bit, and provisioned, filled up the water tanks and things like that we needed to do, because we're getting ready to move on out a little bit further east along that southern coast of Brittany, and find a good hopping off spot to cross the Bay of Biscay. There was one thing that we were preparing for before that, and the next trip was to pass through the Ras de Seine, which is a tidal race area between the French mainland and the Ile de Seine, which are a little bit offshore, and that gap between those, there is an option clearly to go around the outside, but the shortcut through the gap saves you quite a lot of miles, but is a fairly infamous tidal race. So we read up and prepared ourselves, certainly in terms of knowledge for that, and all the advice is to hit it at the turn of the tide, as you'd expect, or shortly after, so you've got the tidal flow with you, but not too strong, and preferably on a calm day. So we were sitting there in the port of Morgat, watching the weather on predict wind, and preparing ourselves to go through the Ras de Seine and then make progress further along eastwards along that southern Brittany coast. So the Ras de Seine was something that we wanted to get right. It was important, the timing of the tides for that, but also try and go through there on a fairly calm day when it wouldn't be too lumpy. And then say the second consideration is to get to a good hopping off point to cross the Bay of Biscay, which also, as you probably know, has quite a fearsome reputation if you get it wrong. So some careful planning involved. That's what was going on, and we're certainly sort of building ourselves up for those two events. Can leave you there. Thank you for watching. A massive thank you to the lovely people who support us on Patreon, via PayPal, who really do make these videos possible. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye.